Are you okay?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm really proud of today and proud of our team. You know, your colleagues, my colleagues, who have spent blood, sweat, and tears
Yeah.
getting to this
Literally,
moment,
probably.
and have something as I look behind us, just a sharp-looking, really cool brand that carries the meaning of this franchise, and I'm really proud of everybody.
You know, when I was hired, 2 days later, we retired the Redskins name.
Wow! Wow!
Literally 2 days later, I'm doing all the interviews of saying we're going to be the Washington football team established in 1932.
Mm-hmm.
Until we get it right, we wanted to take our time to get it right.
Yeah.
You come in, and your entire time here has been pretty much leading up to today,
Yeah.
amongst a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But this is
Yes.
one of the biggest
Few other
charges that
things.
you had. Yes. What was the biggest challenge for you in getting it right?
It was the fact that we put a really high bar on listening and feedback. And that was a strategic decision for us. You know, we could have done a process where we sort of went into a back room and picked the owner's favorite name. You know, that's an approach other people have taken. We chose not to do that because we wanted this to be informed by our fans. And what we found is that we have a very diverse fan base. You know, we have fans that were writing us and telling us about how heartbreaking it was that the
Yeah.
Redskins name was gone and how the memories of them and their families felt lost. And then other fans writing us and saying, I feel like I can finally be a fan again now because that name is gone. And you've got, you know, little kids sending us cartoon figures, military veterans sending us letters advocating for names tied to service and civil service. And there was one great letter about the history of this club and its importance to Black DC and Doug Williams winning a Super Bowl and advocating for the name of Red Tails along with
Right.
that. There's so many different opinions. We realize our fan base is so diverse. How are we going to do what this brand has done more than anything else over time? And that's under burgundy and gold, unite people who have trouble coming together under other circumstances. And in taking that on, we had to find out what united everybody. And it was these underlying values that we came to through focus groups and surveys and all that other stuff.
I know countless hours, days, weeks, months went into getting here and to this point and getting it right. When did you know it was right?
That's a good question. We were actually just talking about this week, preparing for interviews like this. Like, when was it? I don't think we could ever pin down the date, but I can tell you at what stage it was at. It was about 4 months ago. And the way that you saw today, that there's a logo and a secondary logo, this crest, and a word mark, and uniforms, and helmets, and even we designed things where we looked at what it would look like on Instagram, or what the logo would look like on the ticker on the bottom of NFL Network, how it looked alongside other NFL logos. We did that for like 9 to 12 different brand options. And so you've got fully designed stuff across other names and identities. And when we were looking at them all together, week by week, this is the one that just continued to gain strength. It felt like more and more of the traditions of the past could fit within it, you know, like the fight song, you know, Hail Victory,
Right.
the Warpath, Fight for Old DC. Like, more and more stuff started to fit with this. And at some point we sat down and we were just saying, like, do we think this is it, y'all? And there was a bit of a nod that went around the room, and one of the people in the room who did not like this name at the beginning said, I do believe this is it, because this one has grown in strength with me over time. I see how more of what I liked about other names can fit with this, and this is the one that will allow us to grow and expand over time. And then from there, it was about planning for the launch.
A lot of fans, of course, have their own opinions, and this isn't the favorite for some. For others, it may be. But you knew that you were not going to get one name that made every single fan out there happy. So what are you hoping the fan base will do, and what will it take for them to really get behind this name?
I think there's 3 things that I hope will happen. The first is that fans, through this process, which has been a real process, can see their fingerprints on how we got here. They see every step of the way. That's part of why we did the Making the Brand episode, so people saw how they were being involved in this. That's one. You know, number 2 is that time will breed familiarity. The more you say Washington Commanders, the more it starts to roll, and the more it starts to feel like your team, especially as you see it in burgundy and gold. And part of it is just giving ourselves time as a community to embrace it. But the thing that we can do, and we will do, that this is the launch of a brand, not a finalized brand. And so we need to develop with our fans new aspects of this brand going forward. So the fight song, for example, we're going to write that together with our fans through some fan engaging process to move Hail to the Redskins into what it becomes here in the next iteration. We're going to tell the story of making these great uniforms that are right next to us, and the process we went through with Nike. And on the end of that, we're going to launch a campaign by which fans are able to help us design a fourth uniform that will go into action in 2024. So our fans are going to directly influence this brand, not just in the last 18 months, but for the next 2 years as this thing fills out.